Hello, this is Lucas Palmeira from Imaginando, and I'm here to give you another tutorial on the RC. For today's tutorial, we're gonna do 3 sounds from the song Shout by Tears for Fears. So let's get right into it. The first sound that we're gonna do is this bass drone. Okay, taking out first this equalizer, this delay modulator. Okay, and I'll bring it back to default patch. As we can hear, we have quite some sawtooth waves here playing. So the first thing I'm going to do is raise the second oscillator, detune it by 0.28. We have a little bit of movement going there. Raise the sub oscillator 1 octave and raise the amplifier to maximum. And now we go to the filter. Envelope generator 2 amount controlling the cutoff frequency. This is the amount of this envelope generator controlling the cutoff. And we bring it to 292. 292. Okay. Can be 88. Drop the cutoff to 118. And raise the resonance to 408. Okay, now for the first envelope generator, this one modulates the amplitude of the sound in time. Maximum decay sustain, release at 300, attack at 0. For the second one, we have the same thing, but we have a release of 100. Next, we go to performance mode and change from poly to unison. So we get even more rich spectrum. And finally, we go to reverb, raise amount to 273. Decay of 535. Damping of 389. And modulation of 304. Okay, now we turn the delay modulator on. Time of 200, feedback of 0.17, a crossover at 370, depth about 300, rate of about 100, and a dry wet of 680. Finally, the equalizer. And we have our sound. Now for the bass pump, which sounds like this. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the equalizer, the compressor, the equalizer, and the delay modulator. Now let's go to the default patch, and as we could hear, it sounded a bit like the drone before, but more open and more staccato. So we're gonna go with the sawtooth waves again. So second oscillator, sawtooth wave, raise it to maximum. But now we detune it 164. So this time we have a lot more movement. Sub oscillator, raise 1 octave. Performance mode from poly to unison. You can hear those sawtooths playing. Raise sub oscillator to maximum. Okay. But now what we're going to do is drop oscillator 1 and 2 to 718, like this. Pre-gain, we raise it to 900. Now for the envelope generator 2 amount, we have it at 477. And cutoff, we drop it to 240. But now we change it from a low pass 2-pole to a low pass 4-pole to a low pass 2-pole, and resonance to 174. Now for the first envelope generator, we have attack of 0, 291 for the decay, and sustain at 0. We already have the staccato field that we wanted, and release at 212. Now for the envelope generator 2, the one controlling cutoff frequency, we have 0572. Sustain of 480. And a release of 243. Okay. Finally, reverb amount of 280 in 555. Decay 261. Damping of 273. Okay. And we have our sound. Now turning on the delay modulator with 200 times, 0 feedback, crossover of 433, depth of 300, and a rate of 0.70, and a dry wet like the other one of 680. You can almost copy one to the other. Now the equalizer. And now finally the glue compressor with high attack and low release, so we get those transients going on. Okay, and we have our bass pump done. Now finally for the flute. This flute, actually on the original one, is played on a Fairlight, which is one of the early samplers. So a flute isn't probably the best thing to try and do on subtractive synthesizer, but you can always improvise, and that's what we're doing here. So for now, I'm going to turn off this equalizer, which is cutting the bass and pushing the highs. And the delay modulator. And we have our sound. So now I'm going to bring back the default patch. And first thing I'm going to do is change the first oscillator to a square wave and drop the pulse width modulation to, no, the pulse width to 313. Next, raise pulse width modulation to maximum and drop the LFO to about 382. Oh, raise it. Okay. Now for the second oscillator, we want a square wave as well. Let's raise it to maximum for now and fine tune it 112. Okay. Now let's drop the volume of, no, this is okay. Master F at 900. Ring modulator at 444. And noise, so we get that air from the woodwind at 712. Okay. Next, we go to the filter. But first, I just want to check one thing really fast, which is the pre-gain. So I think we have a pre-gain of 663. So 663. Now for the filter, first thing we're going to do is change the filter from a low pass 4-pole to a low pass 2-pole and drop the cutoff to 536. And now for the first envelope generator, the one that modulates the amplitude, we have 0.24 on the attack, 6 to 6 on the decay, 389 on the sustain. Release at 486. Second envelope generator, 0 to 30 on the attack, on the decay, sustain at maximum, and a release of 596. Okay. Finally, reverb, amount of 608. Decay of 766. Damping of 444. Modulation of 572. And I think we have it, guys. I think we have everything ready, so bear with me just a second while we get this ready first listen, and I will attempt to sing this to you in real time. Remember that I've transposed all the MIDI notes by 2 semitones because I'm basically a baritone and the singers of Tears for Fears are tenors, so it was a bit high for me. But let's try and do this.
Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. In violent times, you shouldn't have to sell your soul. In black and white, they really, really ought to know. Those one-track minds that took you for a walking boy, kiss them goodbye. You shouldn't have to jump for joy. You shouldn't have to shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on.
And this was it, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Remember, I only transposed the song 2 semitones down on my version so I could sing it. But the Ableton session that you're going to receive has the song on the right note. So check that out if you want to see how things were done here. I really had fun doing this. I hope you are going to have it too while seeing this video. We're gonna be doing more every week, so if you like this, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. That will help us support a lot. So goodbye, guys. It was a pleasure, and see you next week.